Hello? Hello?
Welcome back to Master the Fun and Tiny Tips number 9 in our series today of helpful tips that may not be the best. There may be other ways, more, meta ways to get, in this case, nanites. But what we have found here from the damaged machinery, as you see in front of you, is when you repair them, in other words, take out the so-called junk, as they categorize it, out of the machine, you get some nanites. The thing I discovered, though, is this junk. There's different types. In this instance, as you see here, we pulled out some goop. They also have viscous fluids and slime, as you can see here, living slime, which, by the way, you can also get from the new derelict freighter missions. There's tons of slime. I mean, everything there is practically living slime. So you definitely want to keep that, and I'm going to tell you why. As you can see here, we're on our home planet, and we're about to pull out another, let's say, junk, or repair this machine by pulling out the junk. Also some more living slime here. And the other thing, I believe, is called viscous fluids, living slime, and the goop. So what I found out is that living slime turns into runaway mold. And as a lot of you may know, runaway mold, when you refine it, turns into nanites. So not only do you get nanites from repairing these damaged machinery, but you also get nanites from the runaway mold. So as I was, playing around with my refiner, I thought, well, what happens if I put here, for example, the viscous fluids? What happens if I put the viscous fluids in the refiner, or for that matter, the goop? I love these names, by the way. It's so funny. So I started putting those in the refiner to see what happens. And as I jump into the car here, we're now in our base, and we'll go to the section of our refiners. I have a few refiners, but I like to use the medium ones. So anyway, you put in the goop here, for example, and it turns into the fluids. So that's great. So we made some of these fluids and said, okay, well, what happens if we put the fluids in? The fluids turns into the living slime. I'm like, oh, that's great. So of course, you know where this is going. And it's all a 1-to-1 ratio. The slime turns into the runaway mold. And of course, the mold turns into the nanites, as you can see here. And that's the objective, because that's what you need to upgrade your ship class and, well, to buy the, let's say, the weapon stuff and, the shields and all that stuff, the augmentations, the extra bonuses, powers, etc. So here's the transitions. You have the residual goop to the fluids, to the slime, to the runaway mold, and ultimately, with a 5-for-1 ratio, you finally get the nanite clusters. So that is really good. I mean, you might need to make, a couple of refiners to, put one in and one in, because it's not that quick. It takes some time. Like I said, it might not be the most efficient way to get nanites, but it's great. The other ways, of course, there's plenty of other videos on how to get nanites. But this was a little tip for today. I thought it was really cool that all this junk, as they labeled it, actually isn't junk, and it's actually useful stuff. So hope that was helpful in your journeys and exploration in No Man's Sky. Leave a like, subscribe, it's free to do so. Be well, and hope to see you all back here again soon. And as always, have fun. Cheers.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, baby.